Hey guys, welcome to the intro. Speaking of intros, I recently found this YouTube channel, Spagnola, I think I'm saying that right, and she has this weird catchphrase at the beginning of every video, and she seems somewhat successful, so I mean, that's pretty cool. It goes a little something like this.
Hey Best Pally, I'm Allie.
I'm not doing that. What's up, Pete? This is Sheep. Hi, and welcome to Jeep Sheep TV. Now, I'm not making fun of Allie. Her videos are actually pretty entertaining, which is how I found her in the first place. But there's actually another YouTube channel out there that is also very entertaining and informative, and that is The Average Jeeper. He recently gave me a shout out in one of his videos, which is really great. His stuff is very comprehensive. They work a lot with XJs, so if you've got an XJ, that's cool. One video that he posted was things to look out for when considering buying an XJ, which I'm sure there's quite a few. I've never really bought an XJ, but I usually go by the rule of thumb where if there is one sitting on a trailer with spray painted camouflage and a cardboard sign next to it saying $500, probably not that one. But hey, you know what? Might be a really fun afternoon. Anyway, The Average Jeepers is a really great channel. I just recently found him and I'm really impressed with his stuff, so why don't you go ahead and I'll have a link down below and like a picture of him up here or something like that. And you can go ahead and visit his channel, hit that subscribe, hit the bell, you know what to do. And while you're at it, do the same thing for this channel. Yeah, so really long intro, I'm really sorry. Today we are going to be revisiting the Bilstein or Bilstein 5100 shocks. I did a test beforehand, and we're going to do another test now that all shocks are installed, and I've done a couple other things, but I'll get to that. Let's go!
Alright.
This rubber seal.
Don't forget this, you need these.
Them in a star pattern. Alright, let's jump right into it. Alright, so on the last Bilstein, whatever video, I had installed 5100 shocks on the front, but I couldn't do it on the rear because I had actually bought the wrong size. But I gave you a comparison of the front Bilstein shocks installed to the previous budget lift kit shocks that I had indeed installed on the Jeep, and I gave you graphs and all sorts of stuff. We're gonna do the exact same thing, but first I gotta show you everything that I have done since then.
Mountain Off-Road Shackle Reversal Kit. 0 to 2 inch lift Bilstein 5100 shocks. Rear 0 to 2 inch lift Bilstein 5100 shocks. Repaired body mounts. BF Goodrich KO2s.
Alright, those are all of the things that will in some way go into the ride quality of the Jeep. So next we're going to go into the testing procedure and then the testing results data. And that's it.
Boy.
Okay, you guys, I totally didn't show you what the test was the first time I did this, mostly because it was nighttime when I did it, and this time I'm going to show it to you. So, mind the shaky video, I'm just going to be holding the phone as I go. So yeah, hopefully you can see what's going on. Woo! Look for cars. So this is just my townhouse area. Okay, I'm going to show the wheels here. Show the ground. So the first part of the test is this bump here. Hope you can see this. Ow. Speed up a little bit. I'll go back to this view. And I'm going about 15, 20 miles an hour. Really not that fast. Taking some corners. Then go around this way. Go this way. I picked this road because it's incredibly bumpy. And I have to drive it every single day and I don't like it. I missed that hole. It's too much. But you can see I'll slow down so you can see this one here. It's pretty deep. It's not great. And so that's the one I hit. That's the large spike on the graph. And that brings you back to the garage and my neighbor's obnoxious Escalade, which cost as much as his rent payment per month. Alright, you guys, it's time for me to utilize my engineering degree and analyze some data. So let's take a look at that. Alright, so as you can see here, I have a buttload of data, and I went in and took a look at that. Now, if you remember from the previous video, I had my old shocks here. That was the data. It should be familiar. And then when I switched to the new shocks, they got smaller, and I was able to compare the this would be the total acceleration, so it is the resultant vector of the x and y and z vectors of acceleration that the accelerometer saw. So, and this should all be familiar. So let's go to part 2, because this is video part 2. This is the graph that you saw just a moment ago in the live video. And it doesn't mean a lot until you compare it to other graphs. So let's go ahead and do that. So the old shocks, these were the budget lift kit shocks compared to the new setup with all of the improvements that I just showed you earlier in the video. We look like this. Now the green and the blue is the old, and the dark blue and the orangish brown is the new. I'm blown away by these results. I had no idea it would be this much of a difference. So we're going to look at some more comparisons. I'll do some explaining a little bit about what we're seeing here. But as you can see, massive differences in acceleration, which is just amazing. If we look at the new shocks, so this was with the Bilstein 5100s installed on the front only. That looks like this. So obviously we discussed there was some improvement from these shocks, but it is night and day right now. And then we're going to go to the resultant acceleration, or the total acceleration, from 12 to 28 seconds, and you can see the gray line here is part 2. It is just absolutely a whole nother bracket of dampened, I don't know, less acceleration. It's so much smaller, it's insane. And then we're going to go into that focused view that we looked at last time, which was between 22 and 23 seconds. And again, the gray line is the new data, and you can see that it is negligible in comparison to what it was before, which is just amazing, honestly. To be able to see these kinds of results is really satisfying, because I put a lot of work into my suspension system to make my ride more comfortable. I do want to explain really briefly how we're getting some of this data, some of the things that are going into it. We talked about, obviously I have the 5100 shocks on the front and the rear now. I also have that shackle reversal kit, but another huge thing is the weather. When I did this test here, it was very cold outside. And when I did this test today it was like 75 degrees, absolute perfection. And I have noticed a huge difference in ride quality based upon the temperature of my suspension. So that's going to have a large effect on it as well, but it's not going to be big enough to produce these numbers. The way that my Jeep has been riding is better than it's ever been since I've ever owned it. And when I first moved to Michigan, where the roads in the Metro Detroit area were just horrible, I spent almost the first year out here waking up with a headache every single morning, and that doesn't happen anymore. Partially they fixed the roads, and also because I did so much work on this, when I ride on some of the rougher highways, some of the rougher roadways, I can really feel the improvements that were made in my suspension, and that is huge. That is by far worth every penny. But yeah, definitely the weather had some effect, so I can imagine this would be just a little bit different. All right, now there's just one more thing I want to talk to you about, and that is what I talked about at the beginning of this video, which is the Average Jeepers channel. Those guys are currently going through a 300 subscriber giveaway where they're giving away all kinds of prizes and things, and it's really quite interesting. You should go and check that out. Apparently he does some kind of spray paint art, and it's actually very, very cool looking. I kind of want one myself, so go through there. I think you have to subscribe and watch some videos of his, and then you can possibly get some free stuff, which is really great. Go ahead and check them out, hit the subscribe, the bell, whatever, and do the same for this channel, please. It helps us out, and feedback is always cool. If you don't trust my data, or you've got more suggestions, go ahead and drop that in the comments below. It helps the community overall. And if I don't see you in the comments, if I don't see you subscribe to the Average Jeepers, and if I don't see you subscribe here, I'll see you on the trail. So thank you.